Omaha's news leader. This is KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle.
And good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCartney. This month is being called Sober October. So today on Chronicle, we're talking about alcohol, mankind's favorite fermented frenemy, some say. But take a look at this number. In the U.S., excessive alcohol use is responsible for about 178,000 deaths each year. That's nearly twice as many as opioids, which was 55,000, and guns, about 44,000, combined. It shortens those lives by about 24 years. The law is meant to regulate alcohol very widely, depending on where you live. So this morning, we're talking about balancing freedom and responsibility, revenue and risk. This isn't about banning alcohol, it's about understanding its impact, especially binge drinking. We begin with the fine line between fun and danger. Chronicle's Mary Regley tells us about a national program working with a local bar to make night out a little bit safer.
Masa Luna is one of several bars and restaurants here in Little Bohemia that is Safe Bar certified, meaning they're committed to keeping their space safe and welcoming for everyone.
Servers say they deal with all kinds of uncomfortable situations daily.
Handing someone their ticket across the bar, and they grab your hand to literally pull you into conversation.
These situations can become heightened when alcohol is involved.
That causes us to not think clearly, and that was something that people might want to take advantage of.
But staff also recognizes the benefits of alcohol in social settings.
Alcohol is fun. It's a social lubricant. We don't want to make alcohol out to be the bad guy, but it is important to make safe spaces in service industry.
That's the goal of the Safe Bar Network. They don't want to demonize drinking, but they want to help venues keep everyone comfortable.
And if you can check in on something when it's just a little uncomfortable or a little unsafe, you can prevent all sorts of types of harm from escalating.
The Safe Bar Network trains local venues on recognizing those situations and how to be an active bystander. They also provide signs so everyone can be aware.
We want to solve problems. We don't want anyone to leave having had an uncomfortable and unsafe night.
Servers in Little Bohemia hope their neighborhood bars and restaurants can be an example for the rest of Omaha.
When the entire neighborhood gets behind something like the Safe Bar training program, it makes us all better.
The Safe Bar training is free to enroll in. If you'd like to learn more, you can head to KETV.com. In Little Bohemia, Mary Regley, KETV News Watch 7.
In the United States, drunk driving plays a role in nearly 1/3 of all traffic fatalities. With increased awareness, tougher DUI laws, drunk driving deaths have gone down nationally about 7.5%. Here to talk about what's happening locally is Lieutenant Dan Flynn from the Omaha Police Department. Dan, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I know you've been crunching the numbers here. You've got them right there. How are drunk driving deaths in Nebraska? What do the numbers look like in Omaha?
For OPD's perspective, we last year we had 59 deaths that were resulted during crashes. Okay. And we kind of crunched numbers, and when it comes to drugs and alcohol related, 54% of those were related with drugs or alcohol. And that was last year. Mm-hmm. Looking at a trend for this year, our numbers are down, which is great. And we're looking at about 41% roughly is going to be attributed to drugs and alcohol being a factor.
You have any idea what's leading to that trend? I know it's early to say. A lot of people then will sit back and look at it later on and analyze.
Yeah, I mean, I think the department's got a lot of efforts going throughout the city. There's a Vision Zero program that they're working with. Mm-hmm. There's selective enforcement. The chief, obviously, it was alarming how many deaths we had last year. So we've made a strong push to have better enforcement. We get a lot of federal grants for DUI grants. And like I said, work with Vision Zero and their program through the city.
What are some of the most serious DUI incidents that you've seen?
Well, the couple of recent ones we had, we won't go into a ton of detail because they're still going investigated, but we had 2 back in September that we lost lives on, that the drivers were possibly impaired, and then we had one in October as well, pretty recent. Going back to last year, we had a real serious one down at 10th and Douglas that, we had 4 people that lost their lives.
Right.
And then back in June, we had another interstate one where, any loss of life is serious. It obviously hits a little home when the kids are younger, when the victims are younger. And we lost 2 back, I think it was June, and on like I-80 and 14th Street on the interstate.
Well, the one downtown Omaha last year, I mean, that was terrible. I mean, they're all bad.
Right.
I mean, did you work that one, perchance?
I did not. Our unit did. And yeah, it's awful for everyone involved, whether it's the hospital staff, whether it's the first responders, OFD, OPD, and then you got to deal with the families and people, or just witnesses. There's a lot that can be attributed to that, and it's just a terrible thing.
Absolutely. So when you're out there on the streets, what do you look for if you're trying to see if someone's going to be impaired?
Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot. Unfortunately, distracted driving is a thing too. So I think you'll see a lot of the similar things. But failure to maintain their lane if someone's weaving in and out, driving real slow or driving really fast. You know, there's kind of extremes. Yeah, like not signaling their turns or going through red lights. But really, you see them, you know, again, they're almost like they're either falling asleep or just reactions are real slow, and see them weaving in and out of lanes. That'd be one of our key. I think our key signatures there.
You know, some people may try to game the system a little bit. They may say, okay, I know they're looking for me leaving my lanes and turning on my signals. So they'll pay attention specifically to that, trying to get around you. I mean, are you going to find them eventually?
Yeah, listen, I mean, if you're impaired, it's going to affect your driving. No matter how much you want to focus on one thing, it's going to cause you to do something else, right? Bottom line is, if you're impaired, just don't get a ride. Don't get behind the wheel.
Right. And then once you stop them, what do you look for?
You're going to look at bloodshot eyes. You're going to have odor of alcohol coming from their body or from the vehicle. Sometimes, you know, open containers are going to be a key that someone's obviously could be impaired. But slurred speech, all those cues are going to kind of heighten our alert, and then we'll kind of do the investigation from there.
I don't need to test you because you slurred speech right on the slurred speech.
Right? Yes, thank you.
Kidding, right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about training a little bit. How often or how early do all officers go through training to look for drunk drivers?
Yeah, all officers conduct the DUI training in the academy.
Okay.
And then obviously there's you learn all those skills, and we have a program where we bring in actors that consume alcohol so we can actually see it. It's a controlled environment. And so that way the officers can experience what the symptom or what the, you know, positive signs are for the impaired drivers. And then with policy updates and legislature stuff, we always keep our policies up to date and our officers aware of any changes, whether it's penalties or anything like that. But a lot of it's on-the-job training. You know, unfortunately, we're exposed to a lot of it, and it's just a skill that kind of continues to develop through your career.
I actually did that a long time ago when I was reporting in Lincoln. I did for the State Patrol. One of those, you know, actors who actually had drinks on the job, so to speak. And it's remarkable because you think you can fool. I think I can fool you, right?
Yep. That's not a thing. You can't. I mean, I don't think it is. So
I think you're right. Do you think ride shares like Uber and Lyft are making a difference or helping?
I feel like they are, especially around the holidays. I know a lot of them offer discounts, and you know, everyone's worried about money and stuff like that. And I understand it, but you know, you can't put a price on this, right? The people that you affect, or how much it'll affect your entire life, your family, your job, anything. You can't put a price on that. So we encourage it. I think it's a great investment. I wish I would have thought of something like that, but I think it's absolutely a positive influence.
And how effective do you think public awareness campaigns are?
I think getting out there and letting the people know whether it works for that quick segment or not. But I think, you know, like everyone knows that during St. Patty's Day, we always, you know, we work with NDOT, we have some type of federal grant. You know, we especially around the holidays, we work extra patrol and advertising and kind of giving people numbers. I mean, something like this is going to maybe open people's eyes a little bit, and hopefully that makes a difference.
Then you do have a project, you have a team that actually goes out and talks to students too.
Yeah, so our Project Nightlife, we have an officer and a sergeant in charge of that, and he'll go out to high school students, do presentations, kind of explain, give them the presentation, answer some questions from them. It's really effective.
Very good. Hey, Dan, I appreciate you coming in today.
Absolutely.
All right, so up next on KETV News Watch 7 Chronicle, the renowned medical expert who says she's linked alcohol to 7 types of cancer, including breast cancer. We'll be right back.